Toby and the Birdhouse. It was a wet and rainy day on the island of Sodor. All the engines were very busy. Everybody was running on time. Thomas had arrived at Arlesdale End at the very edge of his branch line. Toby is one of Thomas's friends. Toby works on Thomas's branch line and lives at Arlesdale End. "Good morning, Toby," chuffed Thomas. "Good morning, Thomas." Thomas was very cheerful. Then he saw there in Toby's shed were holes. "Toby," peeped Thomas, "do you know there are holes in your shed?" "Yes," said Toby. "The birds nest there every day and night." Thomas listened intriguingly. "It's a very nice roof," said Toby. But Thomas wasn't listening. He'd already puffed away. Thomas chuffed wearily into Knapford. "Hello, Thomas. Hello, James. Haven't you seen the Fat Controller?" "Ah, yes. Here he comes." "Ah, Thomas," said the Fat Controller. "You need to speak to me?" "Yes," said Thomas. "There are lots of roofs and holes inside Toby's shed. We must fix them, sir." "Yes, we must," said the Fat Controller. "And we will fix them, Thomas." "Hooray!" chuffed Thomas. Thomas was now very cheerful and couldn't wait to tell Toby. Then Toby arrived. "Toby, splendid news," said Thomas. "We're going to mend all the messy old holes in your roof and give you a brand new shed." Toby was sad. Thomas thought Toby would be very happy to hear this. "Haven't you any of excitement, Toby?" said Thomas. Toby wanted to say something, but he didn't know how. Thomas was worried. Thomas arrived at Brendam Docks to collect some crates and building materials to mend Toby's roof, and he puffed away. Thomas puffed proudly down the line. He met Percy at a junction. "Hello, Percy." "Hello, Thomas. What have you got there?" "I'm going to help build Toby a new shed. And I'm bringing Farmer McCall a new birdhouse for his doves," peeped Percy. "We both have very important jobs," tooted Thomas. The signal changed, and Percy puffed proudly away to Farmer McCall's. When the signal changed for Thomas, he soon followed. Thomas arrived at a station. Toby was there. Thomas arrived to pick up more tools. "Hello, Toby," he tooted. Toby and Henrietta saw Thomas's truck filled to the brim with building materials for a new roof. "Those trucks are filled very high, Thomas," said Toby. Yes," said Thomas. "We're going to have your new shed built in no time at all." Thomas, Toby raced away. I wonder what's going on with dear old Toby, tooted Thomas. Thomas hadn't suspected anything of it and carried on to Arlesdale End. Meanwhile, Toby was pulling his passengers along in his faithful coach, Henrietta. Henrietta eyed her engine doubtfully. What's going on, Toby? Why'd you race away from Thomas so quickly? What do you mean? Asked Toby. Oh, don't pretend like you don't know. Spading away from young Thomas when he was trying to help you. Oh, Henrietta, said Toby, I don't want Thomas and the workmen to tear down my shed. The doves used to live there, and now Thomas is going to destroy it. Why don't you just tell him that? Said Henrietta. Because I'm frightened, said Toby. Thomas arrived at Arlesdale End. I've got the building materials, he tooted, and the workmen set to their job straight away. The workmen clipped and chopped, they propped and they docked. Everyone was working very hard to build Toby a brand new roof. Meanwhile, on the other end of Thomas's branch line, Percy had just delivered the birdhouse to Farmer McCall. And he puffed perkily away to meet Thomas. Percy arrived at Arlesdale End. Hello, Thomas. Hi there, Percy. Look at Toby's new roof and his brand new shed. It looks magnificent, said Percy, from a view, but I'm not sure Toby would like it. Why? Said Thomas. Just then, Toby rounded the corner. Hello, Toby. Hi, Percy. Toby was droopy. He was gloomy. Look at your brand new shed, Toby, toot toot tooted Thomas. Isn't it magnificent? Whistled Percy. Toby didn't like the new shed, so he told Thomas the truth. Thomas, I liked my old roof with holes. Thomas was surprised. Birds used to nest there. That was their home, and you've destroyed it. It's being demolished now. There's nothing you can do to fix it. This made Thomas sad. And he raced sadly away. He saw the farm, Toby's favorite place, he said sadly. As Thomas puffed along, he thought about how to help and put things right. Then he saw it. He saw where Percy had delivered Farmer McCall's birdhouse. That's it, tooted Thomas. I'll just use all the old wood from the lumber yards to rebuild Toby's shed. Thomas arrived at the lumber yards and collected the old wood from Toby's roof. And he raced it back to Toby. Thomas arrived at Tidmouth's sheds. And this time he had the workmen install a brand new birdhouse for the doves. They worked very fast, and at last the new roof was into place. Toby returned there that evening. The sun was shining, and everything seemed cheerful again. Well, Thomas, this shed looks better than my new one. Thank you very much for both of them. Thomas was very pleased, and so was Toby.